How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all revved up, but get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Alberto Vargas. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He's probably most well known for his run of pinups, but I think he is a phenomenal artist, really great at rendering skin tone and flesh and just the soft versus the hard portions of the body, the bone versus the skin. Just really brings his characters to life completely. I love the way that he does the eyes and the eye contact in this piece. I think the color choices are really pretty, like the green versus the orange. It's really nice. This is one that's kind of like a female founding father style. Really great color choices again. Great anatomy. He did a bunch of stuff with was it Esquire? And there's a great little write-up in a book about the artist and law, or trying to figure out your art as a business, where he ended up having to change his name and go through a whole bunch of turmoil and legal battles and all that kind of stuff that we never really even talk about here, but the whole business of trying to be a creative person that he had to struggle with. But definitely his art is completely on par. Reminds me a lot of Andrew Loomis's work with a more South American style, a little bit more. I want to say he's Argentinian or Peruvian. Could be mistaken though, so look it up. I'll look it up. Somebody look it up. Wonderful artist. Gorgeous stuff. I really love the line of action. It's really straights versus really nice. And then you have that little coil in the phone. Great perspective here. So definitely urge you guys to check out more of his stuff. I don't feel like he gets enough credit for his beautiful work that he did. Really a great example of a golden age artist for sure, and taking everything to his own level. I really like this one. It just shows a little more of his process and everything. I always tend to be drawn more towards the roughs or the beginnings of a piece rather than a finalized piece. I like seeing a little bit of the grit in there. I think this one was really great. A really lovely choice of lighting as well. That he gets those nice softs and hards in color as well, which color theory still boggles my mind sometimes. But let's go ahead and take a look at a quote that I was able to find from him, and he said, you just give all you've got to this big effort. And I think that's totally true. It's difficult some days. There's sacrifices you've got to make, there's choices that you've got to make, but if you're giving it all you've got, you can put your head on your pillow at the end of the day and say, you know what, I tried everything I could do today, took another step in my journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. And let's go ahead and get into some animation. I think otherwise it'd get a little too rambly for today. So this is the Rohan rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at it's tjfan.blogspot.com. I'll throw a link in the description below, along to a few other links about Alberto Vargas as well, if you guys want to check that stuff out. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well, and we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own unique, amazing, imaginative, creative content each and every day, and to take another step towards mastery of that craft as well. So let's go ahead and get playing. I was thinking today that we'd just do a run. I haven't done a run for a week or so, so thought that would be kind of fun. And this rig seemed like it was pretty malleable from what I was seeing, so let's see if we can't do that here. Have some fun doing a run. One thing I was a little hesitant about is I was thinking the shoulders might not work, because usually they put the controller here rather than over there, but it looks like it bends at the right spot. I was worried that it might bend a little earlier, but it looks like it should be fine. And let's go bend that. What I like about these elbows is there only is the one rotation. attribute here because that's how your elbows normally bend. You don't have a like side bend and a third rotation. You don't have usually a Y and a Z. You only have an X or whatever orientation that that starts off with. So I like that they kind of restrict that. It feels a little more natural to me. Let's go ahead, bring that up. That back a little bit. I'll go ahead and get a little bit of bend in the chest. Don't need it to be so rigid here. Bend that forward. Bring that back. Just create a more interesting storytelling pose here. I think that neck we can't do too much with. It looks a little too broken already. So I'll have to tone that down a little bit more. Okay, let's go bring that back a little bit further. We got a toe bend. Let's bend that back. Push this up a little bit more. What can we do to make this run more interesting? Let's see. First off, let's go ahead and I'm going to do closed fists here. Bring those in. Curl B and C. Do each one individually. Do a little bit in that way. I like how these fingers are set up. It's a nice way to rig fingers. Easy to grab, easy to manipulate. Got all the right controls that you want to have in there. And then they simplify the tips of the fingers, which I'm okay with. It's got enough controllers that you need to get pretty close to the right posing. You could have more controllers in the mid and the tip, but I think I like having them a little bit more simplified there. Should grip this in a little bit more. Maybe. Let's see. A little bit more on the thumb here too. And let's go with this one. Yeah, I'll grip all these a little bit in. I think I'll leave this one a little more open than unlike the other side. I don't need it perfectly closed and give us a little bit more variation between two hands here. And rotate that a little bit like that. Keep tweaking this stuff here a little bit more. Bend that one. The thumb. Probably bend it a little bit more here. And I think I'll give a little more tapering to these fingers here. I also want to do a little bit of twist here. Favor that foot forward, favor this arm forward. Get a little bit of twist in the body. Don't think we need that one to be up so high. A little more twist. Very let's start there. I'll go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all the stuff we've talked about so far, again, check all the links in the description down below. And let's get started here. So let's grab everything, make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. And I'll go to frame 0 and we'll set our first heat. Alright, let's get started with this one. I think I want it to be pretty fast, so let's do it on 8s here. And I'm going to want to flick between a couple of keys to get our feet started. Toe bend up. Right. And we'll flick between those two keys here. Now let's go to the other side here. And we'll push it back, rotate that foot down and back, over, push that toe back a little bit more, rotate that up a little bit, and move that back there. And then we'll flick between those two here. Let's see. All right. And let's go 3. Drop it down. Drop that down. Toe down. Keep it till 5. So get that plant in for 3, 4, 5, so 3 frames, and then we'll go what should be 3 frames less, so 21 should be at 0 and 0, 19, 0 that out, and 0 that out. And 0 out here, so we can get these plants on the ground. 0 there, 0 there. Let's see how we're doing. Alright, and let's go to the other side. And 0 out here, 0 out there. 13. And drop it back on the ground here and here. Here, here. There, there. And let's see it now. Alright, so we got the legs working okay. Definitely want to tweak them up a little bit more so they're not so blah-ish, I guess would be a great way to say that. And let's go ahead and look at the hips. Do a lot of up and down here. And up here. Down there. Up here. Down there. Up here. And back again. And I think I need to do this every 4 frames, not every 8 frames. So let's go into our window animation editor's graph editor and let's push these forward. For some reason I wasn't doing double time, I was doing half time. So let's correct that. So I'll do every 4 frames there. Keep that one. Key selected. And the reason I don't hit S here is because I don't want to key all the attributes. I just want to do this one particular one right here. And let's look at every other one. Pull it down. And let's see how we're doing now. Even these guys up a little bit more. was okay. We could probably do a little more down and a little more down universally. And I think one other thing I want to do is push the hips forward a little bit more. Okay, and let's start doing some rotate Y, switch back and forth to favor the front position leg here. Back again. And let's balance that out. So we're not favoring one side over the other. Pretty good balance, just that one was really a big outlier. And let's also make sure it's going an equal amount on the other side, or at least within the same ballpark. And let's go ahead and see. And we'll offset the chest. So get that twist in here. Back again. Let's see. Alright, and let's clean that up a little bit better. Just going to be it's kind of set up a little bit funky. Alright, I'll just use these two. And let's see how that feels. Scale that one back a little bit more. Alright, and let's do a little bit of side to side, so we'll push the hips over this leg, and over that leg, so we get the weight shifts built in there, and this is probably too much, so I'll scale that back. We'll see how it's looking. And let's look at that. It should be translate X. Scale them back a little bit already. I know they're already going to be over the top more than I need. And then we'll probably scale them back again. But let's see how it plays now. Yeah, too much. So we'll go about half of that. Let's see if that's still too much. Yeah, I'd probably say that's still too much. So let's go till just about 1. Bring that over. And let's see. And let's do a little bit of rotate. Z, 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 and back again. And we'll tone those down and balance those out. And let's see how we're doing. And let's do a little bit of rotate Z over on in here, which is going to be actually rotate Y. A little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit here, there, back, forth, and back again. And we don't get a lot of that. Go. Let's clean that up. forward, back, forward, back, forward, and back to where we started. And we'll even that out a little bit more. Tone it down a little bit more too. Let's see. Alright, and let's look at the other side. Bring it back, forward, back, forward, back again, and then cycle it back to where we started. And balance that out a little better. Probably a little less forward, a little more back too. So let's see. Maybe a little more forward and a little more back. Alright, and I think for this one I might keep the arms bent in the whole time, but I'll still give them a little bit of somewhere to go. But rather than really drag them, keep them bent throughout most of this, and then back to where I started. Alright, now let's get the other side. And back again. And I think we're going to universally have to bend this one a little bit more. So we'll take it and we'll bend it inward a little bit more, and then take this one, I think we'll bend it outward a little bit more just so we find a better balance between the two sides. Right, and let's look at the wrists. Go ahead, drag that one a little bit more there, swing it forward a little bit, drag it back, swing it forward, drag it back, swing it forward, and then go back in. Maybe a little bit over the top, so let's not have it go back so far, and maybe not so much forward. Let's see. Great, and let's look at the other side. We'll do a little bit more swing forward here, a little bit more back, forward, back, forward, back, and let's see here. Bring these ones down a little bit more. That one, and I'm okay with this one being a little more loose than the other side because we've got the hand open a little bit more too. Alright, now let's take another look at the feet. Let's go drag back more there. Drag back more there. Drag back more there. And let's see. Does it rotate X on this one? Let's see. just one frame that throws off too much in the cycle. Let's see. Go a little bit less on the first one there. Do I get better there, or one frame forward? I think I like it this way. Okay. Let's watch it from another angle, see how we're doing here. Alright, let's do a little bit of rotate X here. So back there, forward here, back there, forward here, back there, back, forward, back, forward, back, and then back to where we started. And actually, I think I'm going to do this at frame 2, starting there instead of frame 4. Then I'll need another one here. And let's balance that out and minimize it a bit more. Just to give a little more variation rather than having it being at the same, one of those same 4s here. So now we have something pretty much every 2 frames. Okay, go ahead and balance that out a little bit more. Let's see it now, and then we'll offset it in the chest as well. Alright, and so let's grab the chest. We're going to figure out which control. I think it's Z here. A little more forward, and this is just to kind of counter animate what we did with the hips. Then we'll have to balance this out a little bit better as we go as well. Back to where we were, and let's see, rotate Z, and rotate Z, and I want to balance these out a little bit better. And let's see how we're doing. Feel like it's probably too much in the chest, so let's cut it down more. You can really feel it in the neck. That feels better. We'll probably go a little bit more than this. Not much, but a little bit more. Yeah, let's look at let's see how we're doing. Get a little bit of looseness then. Yeah, just a little bit of looseness in that jaw then. Let's crank it up a little bit more till we break it. Then we'll scale it back. A little bit too much. Somewhere in between those, I think, is probably where we want to land. Okay, now let's look at the toe here. So we want to do the toe bend up there, and then flatten it out. Just on one frame, so really slap down. Keep it at 0 here. Bend it up there, flatten it out. Keep it at 0. And lift it up here. Flatten it out. Keep it at 0 here. And then I think one more thing I want to do is make sure we're dragging that toe still a little bit more in that passing position. Okay, and let's go to the other side here. And I still want to drag it a little bit more there. I think we could take all of these ones and make those a little bit higher. And then we'll go high there and flatten it out. Here, keep it at 0. Drag it back a little more. Flatten it out there. Drag it back a little bit more. Flatten it out. Flatten it. And go back. Okay, now I think when I went to these ones, these might be a little too extreme here, so I might cut those ones back a little bit more. It's kind of funny. I like the silhouette of this character's face, but flat on. I feel like that character's face is not as cool as it looks from the side. So it's kind of flat this way. The profile is really nice. I think I'll end up doing more of a profile for this one. A little bit of 3/4. And let's do a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of fingers. I don't think there's a jaw or anything we can do, is there? This extras, what's that? Hair, hat flop. What's this do? Hair flat top. Hat. Oh, it's just a hat control then. Hair hat. Yeah, let's do that. And let's do a little bit on the hat then. That'll be kind of cool. So go a little bit up here. Let's keep that. Or I'll just set everything here. So go a little bit up. good already. So let's just balance it a little bit more. I don't mind having some variety in this one for sure. It's just kind of an extra. So let's see. And let's go a little bit of rotate here as well. Might be doing this the opposite way, we'll have to see. We'll start back, and let's see. Yeah, I think I want to go opposite way here. Let's see. Yeah, it's alright. Maybe I'll just minimize the amount of rotate I do in here. Let's see. Alright. It's kind of funky that there's no jaw or blinks or anything here. Face. It's the face controller. Maybe that's it. Seems like there's a face controller. It's IK. It's IK. Oh well, you guys will have to let me know if you find it. Now let's still do some fingers here. And we'll rotate those back that way, up that way, back that way, up that way, back, forth, and back to where we started. Okay, and we'll push this guy one frame forward, this guy one frame back. And let's get the thumb, do a little bit of drag there in the thumb. This one can be a little bit looser, a little tighter, looser. And back to where we started. Great, and let's look at the other side here. A little bit of drag that way, drag back, up, back, up, back, and back to where we started. Alright, now let's vary this a little bit more. Take the front one and push it forward a frame. We got back one, and we'll drag it back a frame. And I think I'll do a little bit of posing variation on a couple of these here. So look at this one, I'll have it a little bit tighter. Just so we get a little bit of variation and grouping here. So it could be a little bit tighter there. This one could be a little bit closer there. Closer there, back. And look at this one. Group them that way. That way. Just so I'll give it a little bit of variation in those hand poses a little bit more. It's fine. Right, and let's get the thumb. And we'll lift it up a little bit more there, drag it back, lift it up, wax on here, just a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, it feels a little better. Alright, I think that'll do it for today. We're probably hitting around our hour mark for the video. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Alberto Vargas. And he said, you just give all you've got to this big effort. And I think if you're going to try and master something, if you're going to try and get in there and play around with whatever medium it is that you're passionate about, and you want to do it, and you want to be successful, and you want to change things, you want to utilize that imagination, utilize those creative muscles, you gotta give it all you've got. Each and every day, take another step in your journey. Try and learn more in any way you can. Try and use the time that you have in the best way possible, and just go out there and create. So thanks for all the likes and subscribes. Let's see, we get this all evidently on ones, or we still got it mostly on twos? Mostly on twos here. Well, that still works. Yeah, thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing. I love you lots. And I think that'll wrap it up for today. Keep being awesome, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.